Lesson 2. Today we're going to discuss the suit of cups. And such a hot, sexy discussion that I thought I'd take the clothes off and do it. Actually, I don't have a shirt. Had a flooding. I moved shop. I moved the tarot shop to a new office. You can see the office here. It's the office for the cyber. And right after I moved, they asked me for the office. The owner said, I need the office for some relatives, so I had to. So I haven't really moved in. And since I haven't really moved in, all my clothing is still in boxes, and the little clothing that I do have is just a mess, dirty. And I had flooding. I had a big flooding issue here, where I used all the clothing that I had to kind of detain the water, stop the water, and it was just a fracking mess. And so I have no clothes, no clean shirt this morning. I'm wearing pants though, if you're curious. And what if I wasn't? What would it matter? The tarot's not about wearing pants or not wearing pants. It's about telling people the truth. It's about being real. Alright. So today we're going to discuss the suit of sword of cups. And I don't have them chosen, so I'm going to pull them out. And as I'm pulling them out, I'm going to discuss with you what the cups mean, because as we know, there's a lot of symbology, symbols attached to each card. And the cup is the symbol of the female sexual organs, specifically your vagina. I told you it was going to be a hot show today. Your vagina. Let's talk about a woman's vagina and what it means. It's the receptacle. It's the Holy Grail. It's the Sangreal, the Holy Grail that holds the blood of Christ. Why does the Sangreal hold the blood of Christ? Because we are all children of Christ, and therefore the Sangreal holds all of our blood in there. I should make a little note in there about the blood and the blood sacrifice in Christianity. You Christians are always saying that, they practice human sacrifice and all that crap. Well, you do too, baby. You got your whole drink my blood, this is my blood, this is my body thingy going there. You are seriously human sacrifice kind of worshipping people. So who are you to judge others? Judge not, and thou shalt not be judged. Who are you to judge others just because they eat a little bit of human flesh on their sacrifices? I'm talking about the Aztecs, obviously. I'm kind of an Aztec, pagan type of guy. I haven't eaten anybody yet, but then I haven't had to do. There's not too many chances to sacrifice people in the pyramids and eat them in Mexico in the present. Actually, there is. You know what? I looked at the other day some videos from the Zetas, and they were just chopping people up into little pieces. They didn't eat them afterwards, but it doesn't matter. They're still chopping them up into little pieces, their heads and all that stuff. Raquel, who's a good friend of mine, is a witch. The witch next door. The witch next door. Tells me that they are actually, the Zetas are related to Zion and therefore Israel, and there was an ancient Israeli practice to cut people's heads off in human sacrifice. The undeniable fact is that the Kali worshippers cannot drop the blood. They cannot spill the blood of their victims. They have to make sure their victims have all their blood, so the blood can all go to Kali when they're sacrificed. Now, all these bloody subjects go to the fact that the cup holds the blood of Christ. It's the sangreal. It is also the cup that holds the birth of mankind. Now, in the ancient Celtic traditions, you also had the sacred bowl or the sacred cauldron of Dagda, which supposedly Dagda is chopped into pieces, which goes back to Osiris. You can connect all these different stories into one big story. There is always a sacrificed god, the Christ god, and they all tied in. Osiris, Christ, Dagda, etc., etc., etc. Well, Dagda is collected, and all the pieces are collected. They're put into the cauldron. There's some type of magical ritual goes on there, and they bring him back to life with the cauldron of life. The cauldron of life is also the cauldron where the witches, the three witches that are the three fates, kind of cook up the world, cook up the universe. Anyways, we're talking about the suit of cups, the element of the suit of cups. Let's see, children, what's the element of the suit of cups? Well, what is a cup? What can you hold in a cup? Water. Okay. So we got it clear. Each card, each suit has an element. Suit of cups, obviously, it's water. So do not be deceived. Do not be confused. We're talking about the element of water. Water equals blood. In symbology, everything that is water can also be attributed to blood. The water is the blood of the earth. In fact, my mom kind of supposes or hallucinates that the oil is the blood of the earth, and that when you draw the oil out of the earth, what you're really doing is you're drawing the blood out of the earth. Earth's going to get pissed off pretty soon, because we got this kind of like lice or ticks or flea infestation on the earth. Earth's kind of scratched sooner or later, and she's going to get us all scratched. Anyways, suit of cups, element is water. It is a feminine suit. There's a masculine suits, which is swords and staves, and feminine suits, which obviously are cups and coins. And it has to do with the receptivity of things. The feminine is open to, and the masculine is actively engaging into. So, masculine, feminine duality. Alright? Let's go right into it. First card in the suit, the Ace of Cups. Now, you see this little birdie, this little bird up there? That's a dove. Now, what exactly is the symbol of a dove with a little cross in the end? Well, if you look at the OTO symbology, it's a very important symbol. It represents not God, but the messenger of God. Specifically, it represents Hermes. It is because you go back to, here's a little thing about occult knowledge. If you have occult knowledge, you have to study all of the different theologies. Never be so stupid as to call them mythologies. They are theologies. All of the gods are real. The Greek gods are real, the Norse gods are real, the Egyptian gods are real, the Aztec gods are real. They're different forms of the same thing. Okay? There's always going to be a god of the oceans. There's always going to be a god of the sky. There's always going to be a god of the sun. There's always going to be a god of death. There's always going to be a god of nature. These things are irrefutably the same. There's always a god of war, And when you get that, you get that they are powers. They are like, in the Nawa language, they are not really called gods. They're called señores. The translation in Spanish, closest translation in Spanish is the señor. Lords of. The Lord of death, the Lord of life, the Lord of the mountains, the Lord of the rivers, the Lord of the oceans, the Lord of the sky, the Lord of the sun, etc., etc., etc. If you go into the D&D mythos, there you can be mythology. If you go into Dungeons and Dragons, they would be called demigods. Why demigods? Because they're not the one great god that creates everything, but they're more like the ones that manage stuff. Now, if you go to the Christian mythology, and there you can use mythology too. They deserve it, man. They deserve it. If you go to the Christian mythology, you can call them angels. Angel of death, angel of rebellion, which would be Lucifer, angel of, there's good angels and bad angels. There's the angels, for instance, there's Gabriel. Gabriel is Hermes. Why is Gabriel Hermes? Because they are the ones that connect God to mankind. They're the translators of God to man. So it all makes sense in the end. They're all the same. You cannot. They say this is ecumenical thinking. Well, yes, it is. It is. We're trying to bridge mankind so they don't keep fighting to see whose God is better. Okay? If you go by the purely Judeo-Christian mythos, the only ones that have it right are the Muslims. Because they're saying, well, the last prophet of God was Mahoma, Moses was Mahoma, and Gabriel gave them the last message, and it was kind of like to do away with all the really bad, dark Christian things that were going on, all the idolatry in Christianism, and of course the Jews. They were just simply not obeying God since a long time ago. So if you go by the purely Judeo-Christian mythos, you got to back up the Muslims because they're the ones that got it right. If you go by the polytheistic kind of ecumenical kind of witchy way, well, then you can kind of pick and choose what you want, And you probably should go with the Hindus because they're the longest lasting, the ones that actually managed to survive all the monotheistic attacks. But there's a lot of currents that are still alive, and you can choose whatever you want. It's still the same thing. So the real choice you have is between polytheism on the one hand, where there's a lot of lords for each one of the jobs, and monotheism that says there's one God, inshallah, Allah inshallah, and all that stuff. Okay, so back to the Ace of Cups. 99.9% of the time, if a woman pulls this card and she is of childbearing age, she is pregnant. She will have a baby on the way. Don't fuck this one up. Okay? Almost never fails. Baby will probably be a female baby. If you get the Ace of Wands, it'll probably be a male baby. Woman asks you about her health, and she pulls this card out. She should have a peppernickel out. She should be having her vagina examined. Okay? So the vagina. This is a vagina. Oh, what a strange looking vagina. I'm really looking for it. Okay. Let's go for the Two of Cups. Two of Cups. You have a very old symbol there. Caduceus, I think it's pronounced Caduceus. The symbol of health. The symbol of medicine. Medicine means you fixing something that is broken. Okay? So here we got a male and a female couple, and they're kind of toasting their friendship. They're toasting they're both crowned with laurels. They got the lion with the wings, This is another figure from the Bible, representing the spirit of the redemption. Well, these two guys are basically making up. They had their problems, they had their disturbances, and they are making up something they're fixing, hence the health issue. They're fixing something broken. So, in the Two of Cups, 99.9% of the time for me, signifies that somebody is fixing a relationship. A relationship that was broken, they're getting it back together again, they're making sure that it works. Like the two little flies, Beelzebub is strong in this office. Like the two little flies that are flying around, they're flying around trying to patch things up. It is, contrary to a lot of rules out there, not a symbol of love, a symbol of friendship. A deep, abiding, platonic friendship. Principally fixing and forgiveness. It's a symbol of forgiveness. You're forgiving somebody for some trespass. Okay? Let's go for the Three of Cups. Three wild witches. A drum, Beth doth come. The three wild sisters. When three women get together, make no mistake, they are witches. When they drink together, make no mistake, it is a witch's coven, because witches always get together in the name of Hecate, the three-headed goddess, in threes. It's three witches, always. So here we have the three witches, the red witch, the white witch, and the yellow witch, representing the three elements of the three gunas. Friendship is what this card means. The basic union in witchcraft is friendship. You know, a long time ago, not so long ago, about 5-6 years ago, I went to Hollywood, and I was out there hanging out with the VIPs. And they, one of them, I don't remember who, but it was a reasonably well-connected, well-known person in the industry, told me, you know, the only real currency in Hollywood is friendship. And I thought about that a long time, because there's a lot of people in Hollywood that don't have any money, but they don't need it because they got friends. So the friendship, why is it friendship a currency? Because it is an interchange of energy that supersedes other forms of interchanges of energy. So Three of Cups, friendship. All for one and one for all, the Three Musketeers, you know. Common purpose. There's an organization called Common Purpose Org. I think it's on the internet. In fact, everything is on the internet, isn't it? This organization bridges together wildly different types of people into a common purpose. The common purpose usually is some type of, you know, cause. And it bridges people that are different for the same cause. For instance, you know, as far as environmental groups, well, some of the best environmentalists are hunters. Why? Because they need lots of wild space and lots of wild animals. And if you're, you know, fighting against corporations that want to build shit in protected lands, you may have to, you know, get like the NRA hunter types with the really hippie, you know, smoke a lot of weed and eat mushrooms type of guys like me, and you got to bridge them together into one collective purpose, one common purpose. This is what this card means. It means you're bridging together people on a common purpose. Okay? I love the four of cards. The four of cups. This is the laziest guy on the deck. Four of cups. Man, he's just waiting out there, sitting on a tree, smoking his doobie, dreaming that everything's going to be coming to him on a cloud of glory. Lazy bum. This is the lazy bastard of the cards. This is me right here. This is the old brujo waiting for everything to happen. Yeah. This guy, these four cups, you know, Buddha sat on the Bodhi tree to achieve enlightenment. This guy is just waiting for shit to happen. He ain't looking for enlightenment. He's got his arms crossed. He don't give a shit. He just wants things to happen by themselves without his help. Lazy bum, the lazy bastard. If you pull four the cups, you know that the person is basically lazy. Does my boyfriend love me? Oh, he's kind of, lazily waiting for you to do all the work. Am I going to get that job? Not if you don't go out and get it. Alright? Four of cups, the lazy bastard. 5. Now, I have told you about 5, right? It is not a number you want to pull of the tarot. He's wearing black. He dropped some cups. He's really sad. Cups signify water. Water signifies blood. Blood has been spilled in the 5 cups. And the blood of somebody that you really care for. Death. That's one of the meanings of that card. Or somebody going away and never coming back. Usually a death in somebody's friends or family. Almost always. Okay? Not a card you want to pull. 6. Let's look for the 6 of cups. Hansel and Gretel. Look at that. Beautiful children. Big brother giving little sister his cup with a flower on it. She's going like, oh brother, I love you. You're the best. Alright? So, childhood and brotherhood. The 2 meanings of that card. You pull out a card like that, what does my husband feel for me? Well, he cares about the kids. He really loves your kids, am I going to get the job? Only if you tell the boss that you got kids to take care of. Kids. Children. Especially brothers and sisters. Relationship between brothers and sisters. That's the meaning of that card. Okay. That's 6. Let's go for the 7. Man, that's some really fucking good weed, man. Shit, look at that cloud of weed, man. Wow, I'm dreaming of dragons and dungeons and snakes and ghosts and floating heads and lots of jewels and crowns and glory. Man, this guy smoked way too much of the good stuff. A cloud of confusion on his head. 7 of cups, you gotta slow it down. You gotta bring it all back to earth. You gotta touch the ground, knock on wood, 7 of cups is somebody that is just too confused. It's not true that when you smoke a lot of weed you get confused. You just get too cleared. And the world's all fucked up, so you get kind of like fucked up about the world being fucked up, and they call that confusion. But it's not confusion, it's just the world is fucked up. And you get to see it more clearly when you smoke liberal doses of weed. So, yeah. 7 of cups is kind of like tripping out. You're hallucinating shit. You're not seeing things clearly. You're confused. What the fuck's going on here? The WTF moment. Those famous WTF moments, like, what the fuck am I watching here? Alright? Let's go with that was a 7, 8. Where's the 8? 8, 10, 9, Oh, I'm missing the 8. Let's look for it on the deck. I'm missing the 8 of cups, man. What the fuck? See? WTF moment. Missing the 8 of cups, man. Where's the 8 of cups? Come on. Oh, here we go. It was in the deck all along, man. Yeah. I feel funky doing this naked. I feel funky doing a naked video on the cups. Especially because I'm discussing cups, which is symbol of the vagina. 7 of cups, you gotta get out of town, you gotta get out of Dodge, you gotta leave this place and leave nothing behind. You wanna escape exile. Look at that. Nighttime. You're leaving home leaving. You're leaving your house, you're leaving your wife and children behind. That's the 7 of cups, man. Going away. I tell you, these Rider-Waite deck, it's just so clear. It makes it so clear to tell people what's going on. You pull a card like that, and I don't care if you are retarded, you know that something bad's going on. You just feel it in your bones. You don't have to speculate it. You know what the heck's going on. I call the 9 of cups barril sin fondo, the barrel without a bottom. Spanish. It's this guy that he's got all these cups, full. He's got everything. He's got everything he could possibly want. Everything, even the nice little red hat, and the silk dress and all that stuff. But does he look happy? No. He's like, man, I didn't get that. I got the blonde and I got the red head, but that other brunette just got away from me, man. So he's never happy, and it is a fault of character. It's a character problem. If your client pulls this card, man, this is a very hard to please person. It's like, what do you give somebody that has everything? That's the essence of the card. It's what do you give somebody that's got everything? You can't help them. You can't help them. You can't help them. On the other hand, the 10 of cups is the fulfillment of happiness. The perfect, happy family. You are happy. I'm happy. I'm feeling good. Alright? You got the 2 kids back there. You got the loving couple. You got the little, farmland in North Dakota. And you got this, huge rainbow full of blessings. Your life is full of good things. 10 of cups is the card you want to make sure you get someday. Well, you want to get there at some point. You want to make sure that there is fulfillment. 10 of cups specifically speaks about fulfillment through family. The most fulfilling thing you can do is have some kids and a nice woman that takes care of you, like that Janis Joplin song. He's looking for that home and I hope he finds it. Anyways, that's the 10 of cups. It's the fulfillment of all your dreams. Yep. I feel funky naked. I'm going to have to do these naked all the time. Did you know that of all my videos on YouTube, the one that is really taken off is the one where I'm taking a shit? What the fuck is wrong with you people? ¿Venían por lectura? Anyways. All right, now let's talk about the people of cups. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
There are certain advantages to living in Mexico. One of them, I think the greatest advantage, maybe not the greatest, but one of the greatest advantages of living in Mexico is the food. For 10 pesos, roughly $1, I get this. These are 3 chile rellenos, made fresh, homemade. You don't get that in the States, man. In the States you get McDonald's and Burger King and all types of ridiculous food. They call it food, but it's really more like poison. In Mexico you eat well. Always gotta check if it's fresh though, that's the only thing, because yeah, it's fresh. Okay. So, cups. We're talking about the cups, the named cups, the people that have cups, the people of cups. And we're saying that cups represent vagina. That doesn't mean that these people are all gay. It does mean they have a feminine nature. Tender, sweet, nurturing, confused, illogical, crazy. Crazy. Anyways. Start with the Page of Cups. Now this young lady is usually blonde, blue-eyed, beautiful, gorgeous. Water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Loving, nurturing, tender, sexy, good-humored, lying, thieving, ridiculous, cheating. She has a fish on her cup. The fish is whispering crazy things to her head, which means that she is eccentric, crazy, lying, hides things, loving, tender, nurturing, caring, female. Now, in the Arthurian stories, in the Arthurian mythos, Sir Parsifal is the fellow that goes of all the knights in the Round Table, is the guy that is able to find the Holy Grail, the San Grail, and restore the kingdom of King Arthur after King Arthur had his little fight with Guinevere and Sir Launcelot. So, here is Parsifal holding the San Grail. Parsifal is the sweetest, the best, the most insanely noble of the knights. He is the only one that is able, due to his purity, to find the San Grail. So, he is the fellow that you can always trust to do the right thing. Fellow that you can always... Parsifal, the Knight of Cups, is the wish that every woman always had for the Knight in Shining Armor. The Knight in Shining Armor is not the Knight of Swords, he's not the Knight of Staves. He is the Knight of... He's definitely not the Knight of Coins. He's the Knight of Cups. He is the dream of every young girl that has ever dreamed of being a princess and being swooped up by a knight on a white steed. It's this guy right here. Okay? The perfect man. The perfect gentleman. The perfect knight. The most loving, the most tender. The man that has found the heart of love. As I mentioned before, in poker, poker cards. We have swords, diamonds, pentacles, trebles, stabs, and cups are hearts. So this is the Knight of Hearts, meaning he is the loving knight, the knight that holds above all other values love and chivalry. Chivalrous love is the only possible real romantic love that exists. Is the guy that sacrifices his very life for the honor of a young damsel. So you can imagine that this is the perfect gentleman. Does he have a dark side, the Knight of Cups? Well, he does. He's very romantic, and romanticism can lead to Romeo and Juliet and all types of tragic consequences. But no, I wouldn't think the Knight of Cups has a dark side. He's not the strongest of the knights. That would be the Knight of Swords, but he's definitely the best. He's not the best in battle. He's not he's the best of the knights. Queen of Cups. Mama has a little helper. Mama's little helper. King of Cups, Queen of Cups, they have substance abuse problems. Hey, they're cups, right? She's in a little island, barefoot, holding a cup on a throne, looking at the water. There's a blondie too. Cups are all blondes usually. Light-haired people. She is the most loving of the mothers. You know, there's 4 mothers and one great mother, one grandmother. The 4 mothers are the 4 suits, 4 queens, and the grandmother is the empress. And this mother particularly is very loving, very tender, very nurturing, not very strong on the discipline part, not very strong on the making sure that the kids, had breakfast before going to school, not very high on the, my kids have new clothes either, but definitely very high on make sure that they all had a kiss before they went to school. Make sure that she told them she loves them and all that stuff. She's the one that reads nursery rhymes at night, and she's tender, she's loving, she's sweet. She is a great mother to have if you're strong. She won't know what to do with your broken toe. She will be very panicked by it. You come back from school with a bloody nose, she'll fly into a panic. She's the type of mother that every kid wants to have, because you come back from school and say, Mom, I cut my brother's arm off, and she says something like, oh, don't worry, honey, we'll patch it back up. So that's the type of mother she is, On the other hand, if you believe that if you spare the rod, you spoil the child, she's the worst type of mother you can have. Also, she has this, I told you, substance abuse issue. She usually handles situations with a nice little cup of cognac. What does women drink? What do mothers drink? They don't drink beer. It's dad's job. I think they drink. I don't know what they drink. Say hello to Homer Simpson. Where's his beer? See that cup? Homer has his beer. Oh, he's a great dad to have around. You can push him, you can shove him, you can break him, he'll strangle you a little bit, but with a lot of love. And at the end of the day, he's just a loving old dad that does everything he He does everything for you. He's kind of like the Queen of Cups. He's this sweet, loving, tender, jolly old fellow who has usually too many cups, too much fun on the weekends. He would never, ever, ever lay a hand on his kids. Not like Homer, though. Homero. But he would definitely, for instance, be the first ones to give them a beer or take them to a porn theater or whatever. He'd be like a fun dad to have. Is he a strong fellow? No, he's a weakling. He's pushed by the current wherever the current may take him. But he does it all with love. So what can be wrong with that? Weak side? Substance abuse, frailty, moral decay, but in a fun way, in a loving way. And he's loving. He's the most loving man on earth. He's all for his family, Kills for his family. May not be able to feed them, but he will love them. And that's very important, my dear friends. Anyways, that was Cups. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making them. Sorry I'm naked and I'm eating, but hey, it's YouTube. You should get used to this shit. Bon appetit, have a wonderful day, and God bless you.